Okay, so looks like we avoided the worst case scenario. Did we get the best case scenario? Maybe. I mean, relatively, possibly. Let's talk. Let's talk New York Yankees here in episode 645 of the podcast. Let's go. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, RJ Carbone. You are listening to BD4, where there's no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. We also do MMA. Yanks every series, Knicks every game, MMA on occasion. Let's get to it.
Anthony for three. Bang! That one goes down, and the game is tied.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
The Yankees are champions of baseball. Shaking and baking right here on the neophyte.
Trying to close the show.
She was doing a great job of feeding.
That is it.
It's over.
Don't you regret not coming to the net? Don't you regret not coming to the net?
Game over. World Series over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Okay, welcome to the show, episode 645 of the podcast. I'm your host, RJ Carbone. You are listening to BD4. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. I appreciate it as always. Doing some New York Yankees. Some New York Yankees in this episode here. Because we got some news yesterday. Last night. On Friday night? No. Thursday night. We got some Thursday night news that, excuse me, I was about to yawn and sneeze at the same time there. I don't know what happened. We got some news Thursday night that Yankees ace Gerrit Cole will not need Tommy John surgery. There's no tear of the UCL. Nothing is structurally. There's nothing seriously wrong with the right elbow. So no Tommy John is needed for now, which was the scary part of the Heyman report. If there's no tear, I'm guessing that's good. I think the for now part, maybe it's like when Cole does return, it's more likely that he tears the UCL than it was before, which is very terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. That is probably the last thing you want to happen, is that the 1 to 2 months are up. Cole comes back. Maybe he looks good his first couple of starts. But then you're seeing the elbow flare up again, and you find out that he pushed it. And he returned maybe too early, went a little too hard, and he winds up tearing the elbow after all and needs Tommy John. And why that's so terrible, obviously he's going to miss the remainder of this season. But now he's also going to miss next season. And that's, no. There is no scenario where you want that to play out. So that's the risk they're taking. Apparently he's going to be getting conservative treatment. He's going to be having to maintain that elbow throughout. And then after these 1 to 2 months, he's going to revamp his own little spring training camp. And then possibly, I'm expecting him to return no earlier than July. I think the 1-2 months thing is just until he can resume throwing again. And then maybe you see him. I would think the way the Yankees run things post All-Star break would be my guess. That would be my guess. And for me, listen, there should be one goal here with Gerrit Cole. That should be easing him back with enough time to stretch him out for an October run. I want Gerrit Cole fresh and in mid-season form by October. So if he can return sometime in July, that's the ideal plan because he'll have enough. I think that's a timeline where he could both be ready for October and also it's a perfect time in the season for him to help the Yankees get back into contention if things are not going right. You know? But it is a lot of time, man. And I'm not going to sit here and spin it and act like it's a good thing. You know, it's the best case scenario in a bad scenario. Can the Yankees survive 1 to 2, possibly 3 months without Gerrit Cole? In my opinion, that answer is very dependent on how they approach their rotation going forward from here until the regular season starts in a couple of weeks. Are they going to go in-house or are they going to go and search the market? Because that hasn't gone well for them, searching the market. Let's just be fucking straight. Dylan Cease is now the latest to be taken off the market. Listen, I have a very different opinion when it comes to the Yankees and them spending money and them moving prospects. I know it might come across as, you know, your typical Yankees fan spends, but like spoiled and like you just want them to do everything. But at the end of the day, is the goal not to put a World Series team around Aaron Judge, of course, but, you know, Juan Soto, who is here for one season? That's the goal. So you went into the offseason already needing pitching. With Cole healthy entering this past offseason, the goal was to get Yamamoto. That never happened. The Dodgers paid the additional $26 million, whatever it was. Corbin Burns went to Baltimore in a package that you could have probably offered. And then the other day, you find out that Dylan Cease is going to San Diego in a package that you probably could have offered. 1, 2, 3. Gone, gone, gone. Again, you could tell me all the bullshit you want. The tax, prospects, this, and that. You are the New York Yankees, and your goal is to win a World Series championship. Now, if Blake Snell is the next to be taken off that list, and God forbid he go to Houston, because I do not like that report that I'm seeing, that makes 4. That makes 4 top-of-the-list starting pitchers who the Yankees had right in front of them and could have gotten had they splurged just a little bit. So it's very easy if you're Hal Steinbrenner, Brian Cashman, Aaron Boone, to sit there and tell your fan base, hey, we're all in. It's win at all costs when things are going smoothly like they were just a couple of days ago. But when you're tested with adversity and now you have to actually show your true colors, we're about to see, are they really all in? Do they actually want to pay up for Snell? Do they say, fuck the tax, I don't care if we have to pay double and shell out some money to smaller market teams. I want to win a championship and take advantage of Juan Soto being on my team with Aaron Judge for a year. You know, and you know what? I'm if they want to go the route of Trevor Bauer, who's going to cost you less than $1 million, sure. Because I'm high on him too. I think he's got a lot of upside. He's obviously a guy who's won a Cy Young himself. But like, I don't see that happening. Something's going on there. I don't want to dive into that whole thing because I could go on forever, but something's going on there. If he looks this good and he's throwing 99, I know he pitched against the Dodgers in camp the other day, and he's saying, hey, I'll pitch for fucking free, and nobody's offering him a penny, and it's March 15th, something's going on. I don't know what it is. You know, I don't know the Yankees line. Like, where do they draw the line with this whole case? Because they've had scumbags. They've had Aroldis Chapman. They just let Domingo Germán, who just signed with Pittsburgh. Like, where do they draw the line? Is it that bad? But like, I listen, man. Like, if this team sits here and they tell you, hey, we're gonna do this thing in house. We're gonna rely on Luke Weaver to get us through these starts, or our prospects, Clayton Beater, Will Warren. I don't think that's gonna cut it. I don't think that's the mentality to carry. I don't even like this Jordan Montgomery hype. I don't even get that. Like, you're hearing Montgomery's name being paired with Bauer and Snell. I know he's a free agent. I think there's a big drop-off. I look at Bauer and Snell as number 1, number 2 pitchers. I look at Jordan Montgomery as a number 4, maybe at best a number 3. And now you're hearing the Yankees are looking at this kid, Michael Lorenzen, who is even lower on the totem pole. He's like a number 5. This guy who pitches to a 4+ ERA every year. I'm not about that. That's not going to move a needle. They make a deal for him, sure, but like, that's not going to be the move. That can't be the move. I think the absolute best case scenario here for the Yankees, for them to really show us that they want to win and nothing else matters, well, then sign Snell, sign Bauer. And if they do that, and they get who they expect out of one of those guys, I think the Yankees will be more than fine in this couple-month period without Gerrit Cole. I think there's a good chance if they were to sign a frontline starter, trade for a frontline starter, or I guess sign, because I don't think there's anybody out there to trade for anymore. Second place, hover around third place, I think they could be a team who's going to win 10 games above 500 for those couple of months. But if you're telling me you're worried about the luxury tax and you're trying to save up money for Juan Soto and you're focusing on next year for whatever fucking reason, well, then the likely scenario is Montgomery or Lorenzen or going in-house. That's probably not going to help you out. That's probably going to have the Yankees a 4th place team, maybe 3rd place if they're lucky, but they're going to be hovering around 500 if they're lucky. I think that their lineup will hit. I think their bullpen will have some good stretches, but that rotation is very risky, and it was very risky even before the Gerrit Cole injury. I don't see this team really having a good couple of months unless they actually go and attack a frontline starting pitcher. I don't have faith in this rotation without Gerrit Cole. Something tells me that the Yankees are just going to go that alternate route because that's the way they've operated before. They are lucky. They are very lucky that they're in the American League with practically a free division in the AL Central, is it? Just a terrible division. To where that 3rd wild card spot can very well be their best friend this season. But that would mean that Marcus Stroman and Carlos Rodon have to play key roles. Those guys are going to be, man, if Carlos Rodon was under pressure last year, Jesus Christ, is 2024 going to be a different animal? He's had an up and down spring results wise. He started out his first couple of outings throwing 92-ish, but the other day he had a much better outing where he looked good. He went 4 innings, only allowed a run, and he was up around 96. I think he even touched 97. That's a positive. His pitch mix this spring has been a little bit more equal in distribution. You know, he's trying to give hitters a different look. He's trying to become more of a pitcher as opposed to just a thrower relying on the fastball. He's trying to be more efficient, which was an issue for him last year. He's thrown 176 pitches so far this spring. 59% have been four-seamers, 24% sliders, 7% cutter, 6% curve, and 3% change. So I would like those numbers to still be a little bit higher, but those are the 3 pitches you want to see him lean into more. Especially that changeup, man. I feel like you need a pitch that goes in a different direction than four-seam slider cutter. You know? Give the left-handed hitter a different look. You know, throw that changeup in on the lefty. I think it's going to be a make or break. If Carlos Rodon doesn't have it this season, I don't think he's ever going to have it in New York City. This is the year, to me, year 2 of his 6-year, $160-something million deal. That's going to prove if he's cut out to be to be able to handle New York or not. You know, I'm rooting for the guy. I really am. There is something in him. I like the mentality, the dog mentality. You could see he wants to be the guy. I can see the potential there. I know he's got something. But I worry about the shoulder. You know, I worry about the pitch mix. I worry if he can handle the bright lights of New York City, the Bronx. So we're going to have to see. He's a no-go for opening day. And also a no-go for opening day, Marcus Stroman, who actually told the Yankees, no, I don't want to start opening day. They asked him. He said no. That's interesting to me. You know, if I'm going to give my opinion on that, like I think players today have way too much power. I feel the Yankees should probably have a little more balls and just go to him and be like, hey, you're starting opening day for us. Tell him, right? Like Stroman's the guy. Like, you want to be the alpha? The guy, you're the guy who made the comment a couple years ago how you're going to be better than every pitcher in this rotation outside Cole the next number of years. He said that himself. Like, okay, you want to be that alpha guy? You've been talking all this shit. You've been saying on social media how this is you and you're meant to be here, and be the guy. Go out there opening day against our, modern day rival and fucking shove. Give us 6 strong innings. That's what I thought they should have done. But the way the Yankees run things now, they're very delicate. They're player friendly. La la la. I don't know, man. I didn't like that he said no. Be there for your team. I understand. He doesn't want to mess up his routine. Pitchers are a creature of habit. You got to be on a schedule. Consistency. I understand that. At the same time, I wonder if that's actually it, because knowing Stroman and his ego and how he likes the attention, is he holding back because he wants to line up to get the home opener, which is ironically against his former team, who he spent a lot of time with in Toronto? I don't know. I'm not going to make too big of a deal of it. I'm not, I think some people are maybe looking for reasons to hate on the guy, but I would have liked to see him start. I would have liked for him to say, yeah, hell yeah, I'm ready. That would have been a different energy. But instead, it looks like we're going to be getting Nestor Cortez to start opening day for the Yankees. That's kind of become official. Aaron Boone said Nestor will get the ball. I don't know, man. Houston's very they're very right-handed. They're very right-handed. I would say Clark Schmidt, who's pretty good righty on righty. I would have preferred him. Nestor's coming off another dud season. Not another. Just talking about Rodon. Nestor's coming off a down year. He struggled with injuries last year too. The rotator cuff. The rotator cuff scares the shit out of me. You know. Again, I'm not gonna lie and say I have watched all of his spring starts. I don't really know much. I maybe saw one, but I don't know. He's very much a question mark, a wild card. He's not had a good career against Houston. If you care about those splits, he's allowed 15 earned runs in 19 2/3 innings against the Astros, 9 runs and 7 2/3 in Houston over the course of his career. Last year, he had one start where he went 4 innings, 1 run. But I guess it's better to go Nestor than like an opener with Luke Weaver or some shit like that. But yeah, he's starting opening day, and I'm assuming from there it's Carlos Rodon. Fuck. I don't know. Weaver and how are they going to work that? Schmidt and then Beater and then Stroman, or whoever gets that 5th spot in the meantime, if they sign or trade for somebody. Yeah. And then Stroman as in he's going to be pitching the home opener, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think they have to go get Snell. You could tell me all you want. The tax, Juan Soto. No. This is I don't think people understand. I think people are underestimating who the New York fucking Yankees are, where they have the money to where they can do what the hell they want. They have fuck you money, right? They can do what the hell they want if they wanted to. It's right in front of them. It's just on them. Do I want to go? Get the job done. You want to win the World Series? Show us. Show us that you're willing to get the best guys out there. Be cocky. Be spoiled. Fuck yeah. Take advantage of that. I don't know. Talk a little about Aaron Judge when we get back from break here in just a sec. Stay with us. Here on episode 645 of BD4. Be right back.
Hey there. Thanks for listening in so far. If you enjoy this episode, please give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much. You can follow us on social media as well. On Instagram, we're at BD4Pod and at Rob J. Carbone. On X, we're at BD4Pod and at RJCBD4. And on Facebook, we're BD4. If you're interested in our website, just go to www.bd4blog.com. You can subscribe to our blog on there right on the front page. Just like on the podcast, we cover Yankees, Knicks, and MMA. Also on our website are the links to the different platforms for the podcast. Thanks so much.
Welcome back to the show. Episode 645 of BD4. I'm your host, RJ Carbone. The Yanks get a Cole update. Plus, we talked a little Stroman. Now we're going to touch on Aaron Judge, who... Oh, man. Yeah. So, goes back to the last weekend where I think on Sunday, everybody was supposed to get 3 or 4 at-bats. Aaron Judge got 2, and he was pulled from the game. After the game, Boone said, "Oh, he's fine. He'll play. He'll be back out there this week." Aaron Judge sat on Monday. And then Boone goes, "Oh, he'll be fine. We expect him to be back on Wednesday." Aaron Judge did not play on Wednesday. So yesterday, Boone went out there and he said, "Hey, it's fine. He's going to be back by Saturday." It's not even Saturday yet as I'm recording this, and Aaron Judge will not be playing on Saturday. So the fact that they're telling you Aaron Boone should be ready by opening day kind of scares the fuck out of me because of the way they do things. They lie every time. What's the modern term people like to throw around now? The gaslighting? That's what the fucking Yankees do. It is incredible how often and how easy it is for them to lie. As if we're stupid. They insult the fan base continuously with these bullshit lies that nobody buys. But of course, they're going to keep doing it. And I'm worried. Anytime the Yankees tell you not to worry, you got to be worried. Aaron Judge has had issues with the abdomen before, the oblique. You're wondering if, he took a swing last weekend and he grimaced. You're wondering if he re-aggravated the oblique from 2019. I really worry about that. Are they going to have to is this going to have to be the new reality where the Yankees are going to have to be very cautious and he's not going to be able to play 160 games? He's going to have to sit for important games and important series at times. We bitched and moaned about that last year when he got back. I think the new reality is we're going to have to live with that going forward. He might be removed late in games after his third at-bat if we have a decent enough lead to where Boone thinks he can go to somebody else to hold it down defensively. He might have scheduled days off again. He will have some scheduled days off. Like, it's going to be a lot of maintenance, a lot of resting, and I think Aaron Judge is a guy who, at this point in his career, is going to give you 145 games, and you take that and run with it if he does. I don't think you're going to be seeing any more 60 home run years for him because he's not going to be able to play enough years, enough games. Like, he's going to be a guy who's going to get constant maintenance. He's going to be off his feet as much as they can get him off his feet. And I've said before, I would not be shocked if at some point in the next year, maybe 2, that Aaron Judge is a first baseman. Obviously with Anthony Rizzo expiring at the end of the year, there's your open spot. So if Aaron Judge was your first baseman for opening day in 2025, would anybody be really shocked? I wouldn't be. But we're not there yet. And Aaron Judge is already having issues with his body. And the DH spot is unfortunately clogged. And I don't trust Aaron Judge after this flaring up again. I don't trust Aaron Judge to play center field for an entire season. That scares me. Obviously he can't slide over to right field. Juan Soto's such a terrible outfielder. He has to play in right. You don't want Alex Verdugo in center field. Dominguez, when he gets back, I'm sure they're going to be monitoring his arm. He's going to be they're going to stick him in left. Aaron Judge, I don't know if he's going to be able to stay healthy in center field all year. It's a lot of ground to cover. He's a big guy. We already know about the lingering toe problem that he's going to have to do maintenance on the rest of his career. He's going to be 32 in April. It scares the fuck out of me. It's not good. It's not good. Let's just, the guy you just paid $360 million to, his body could already be breaking down. Kind of reminds me of the other guy who we have hitting in the middle of the order, who's not always healthy. I don't want to say the name because I don't want it to go down that route, but Aaron Judge just got his bag. He just got the captain label and breaks the record, and I just don't want that to be his peak season. I don't want that to be his 2017 Stanton season. You know what I'm getting at? Like, I don't... Listen, he's going into his 9th season. How many full years has he given the Yankees? 3? 3. His rookie year, a couple years ago, and then, I don't know, sometime in between that. It scares me, man. It scares me. And it scares me to a point where you are going to need a franchise player very soon. And Soto is going to have to be a guy you pay now. And I think your core that you should be focusing on, Soto, Dominguez, Volpe, Wells, and then Jones when he gets here. That's your future. So you have to hope some of those guys hit. You have to hope that you can pay Soto enough money to where he stays. Because those are your 4 guys, all of them 25 years old and under, who are going to be your future. Those are the guys you need to work out. With these injuries, with the way Aaron Judge is starting to break down, you got to hope that you get some contributions from those guys too. So hopefully Judge is okay. Hopefully he's in the opening day lineup. If he has to sit some spring training games, who gives a fuck? I want him to be ready, and I would like for him to have a couple of more, a couple spring training games in towards the end, so he's ready and has enough reps to be warm for opening day. And that's the ideal scenario, obviously. But that's it, folks. That's it. Episode 645 is in the books. That's all we had. Just talked a little Gerrit Cole, Marcus Stroman, the rotation, Aaron Judge, and I think that's it. I think the Yankees, again, I don't think the Yankees are going to have a year where they miss the postseason again. But if things go wrong with Gerrit Cole, and if they do opt to be cheap, that's probably the window where I do see them missing out. But like I said, I think the third wild card spot is going to be their friend this year, because that's about 88, 89 wins, and you're probably getting in. And I think adding Juan Soto and improving the lineup, even outside of that, should get you some wins in the regular season. The lineup will hit. It will get you by for a few months, but you really, really, really should be looking at top targets in terms of starting pitching, because I just don't trust these guys to get it done without Gerrit Cole. I think it has to be Snell or bust, and I don't care if the Yankees have to inflate their payroll an extra $60, $70, $80 million this year. They are billionaires, folks. They are billionaires. There's never going to be a day where the Yankees go broke. No matter what they tell you, no matter what somebody on Twitter tells you, the Yankees will never be broke. No matter how many bad contracts they've had in recent years, how bad has that really affected them? Like, really, how bad has that actually affected them? It hasn't. So with that said, we're going to head to our final break, get back and wrap it up with our trivia. Let's do it. Studio 69 Productions is a podcast production agency created by Leo Rodriguez to allow content creators to market their podcast. It's an online platform that will market your podcast or any other project that you're working on. Get in touch with Leo Rodriguez from Studio 69 Productions. You can find Studio 69 Productions on Instagram at Studio69NJ. Studio 69 Productions, where dreams are heard and born.
Thanks for listening to BD4, where there is no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. We also do MMA, Yanks every series, Knicks every game, and MMA on occasion.
Welcome back to the show. Let's wrap this thing up with our trivia, and that will be that. Okay. For this episode 645, on June 28th, 1939, the Yankees set an MLB record for most total bases in a doubleheader with how many? 79, 87, or 93? All right. On June 28th, 1939, the Yankees set an MLB record for most total bases in a doubleheader with how many? 79, 87, 93. Sure, multiple choice right there. One final time. On June 28th, 1939, the Yankees set an MLB record for most total bases in a doubleheader with how many? 79, 87, or 93. With that said, folks, that'll do it for episode 645. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Thank you for listening. If you're over on YouTube, thank you for watching. Subscribe over on YouTube. Comment. Like the video. If you're on Apple Podcasts, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a review. Excuse me. Maybe you're on Spotify. Share this with your friends. Download these episodes. All that stuff. Follow me on social media if you like. You know where to reach me. It's on the screen, in the description. And that's it for 645. Episode 645 is in the books. I'll see you in episode 646 when we're talking Knicks. The Knicks will play the Kings on Saturday night. It's Friday night as I record this. But the Knicks will be playing the Kings Saturday night, and we'll be talking about that in 646. 645 in the books. Thanks for coming by. Thanks. This episode was brought to you by Anchor.
Hey there! If you stayed the entire way through, we thank you immensely for it. We hope you enjoyed this podcast and that you come back for the next episode real soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, download these episodes, and share them with your friends as well. BD4 is a 5-star podcast simply because of you, and we'd like to keep it that way. Have a wonderful day. Go Yankees, and go Knicks!